Sorry, I threw some really thin or whatever pine wood and it's crackling like crazy in my stove, so just deal with it. So we working on this out here now. Basement got all water damage and stuff, so we had to move everything out, and I guess I'll just be working on this out here because this is where all the tools are now. So Traxxas Nitro Sport, we are going to be putting on a recoil starter. I had the easy start off and stuff before. I'm done with that shit. Just keep it simple, put this on. It's less convenient, but it will remove a lot of weight, and you know what? Hey, if you have to put all this easy start and stuff, it defeats the whole purpose of going nitro. People go electric and stuff because it's much easier to use. Well, if you want to make a nitro easy, then it kind of defeats the whole purpose of making it nitro. The whole purpose of making it nitro is just to make it more interesting and stuff, you know? And you don't have to charge up batteries and stuff, and just more interesting and stuff, you know? Because even electrics generally have a little more torque because they're a lot lighter. Well, I shouldn't say that they're more powerful than these nitro engines are. These nitro engines give off a lot more torque, maybe a little less RPMs. I don't know though, but maybe around the same. But nitro altogether isn't. No. Anyways, so we're gonna start here. I had my original starter shaft. Here it is. I'm not going to really even explain how this happened, but I got a new one. That's another thing. I was at the store. The hobby shop, they said they didn't have any, and I said, well, maybe there's some in the closeout. Do you think there's, like, last time I was like, no, there's none in there and stuff. So I figured, you know, I don't want to be a dick, but I went over and checked anyway. Sure enough, one came out. He was going to charge me $9, and then I have to come back next week to pick it up. This I spent only $4 on closeout pricing. What a deal. And it is the correct. I also picked up some clips for my body clips, some new screws for the back plate for this here. Didn't have any more that will fit. And a new one-way bearing. That was $16. I spent $19 on the recoil. I already had redone the recoil because I was pulled these rubber bands off, and I didn't really put any thought into it, and then ching, just like a lawnmower recoil, same thing. And since I can't use my easy start anymore, I had to get a glow igniter, and there's already got a battery and stuff inside there. I already had one, but I lost a charger to it, and I usually just use my field pack for my RC plane. And yet I even had one of these, but I lost it when we were clearing out the basement. I lost a few parts, and there's the new one, there's the old. So all it does is it slips right into here, and you just rotate it until you can get it onto that little hook right on the crankshaft, that tiny little crankshaft there. If you guys are like working on cars and stuff, and you never worked on these before, yep, it's all that tiny. And it's on, I just need to screw that in. Next we're gonna take out our little one-way bearing right here, and then we're going to do the recoil. Be very careful when you do the recoil, just going to warn you that. Well, I got it on. Just make sure you don't mess around with it too much, because this recoil spring will pop out and you have to rewind it back up. That looks nice. I'm just going to put my new screws in. Now I took the wheel off because it's a little bit difficult to get down to some of these bottom screws here. And you just set them in like that, and you just turn them in with your Allen wrench. Alright, it's in. That feels good. So they're all mounted down. Just going to double check, make sure I made them all tight. Put the wheel back on, and I'll show you what to do next. I am looking at this now because, like I warned about when you got to be careful, the spring can pop out and stuff. I think I should have made this. It happened to me, so I think I should have made this a little bit. This handle a little bit tighter, but well, that's good. Ain't gonna hurt nothing. When this cover's on, I think I may have to take the cover off to start it, but that may not be an issue because this cover is, unless I decide to put a notch in here, but I don't know yet. Alright, so next thing you want to do is I'm just going to put the wheel on later. You're going to remove where the Easy Start plug system used to go. You just unscrew that, because you're not going to need any of this stuff on here, because you're going to want to get a glow igniter, so that, because if not, you're still going to have to use the Easy Start button, and then you're going to have to be pulling on. That's going to suck. So you're going to just pull that off. Sorry, I didn't have the Easy Start system to actually show you how to remove that. You're going to leave this switch on here, but you're going to cut this one here going to the radio, but you're going to cut this zip tie here, this wire tie here, or whatever, and this one here. I think I may have put them on, but yeah, and you're going to also remove this ground wire that goes down here, or wherever it's located, and you're going to remove that, and also your glow plug wire. You're going to fit this glow plug wrench right on top of there. That's how you're going to have to start it, but that's the traditional way, and that's the way it's always been. This one was real tight, and I kind of edged the wires a little bit there. It's not a problem. I think you can. I think this plug you can actually change out, but it's only that one right there. Well, maybe a little bit here, but we're just gonna put some wire tape over that. It doesn't look like I really cut any of the wires. I'm just gonna reinstall our exhaust pipe, and we're all set. Now I got my glow igniter all batteried up. I want to change the batteries in my remote. I just put new batteries in here. Servo don't sound the greatest, but you know, could just use a little oil on the inside. Let's see if this puppy will start. As soon as I can figure out this glow igniter. They just pull up like this and fit on, but there you go, glow igniter's on. Let's give it a few pulls and see what happens. I'll have to set this camera down. I don't know if I can set it up here or not. Oh, works perfectly. Yeah. You need a little bit of prime. Always pull your glow igniter off to do that. Well, I tell you what, once I get everything figured out, we'll make a second video instead of looking at the ceiling. So tune in to part 2 and we'll get it running.